Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eddie Marcus, and I want to be the next president of the United States of America. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving this your time to see what Eddie Marcus is all about. This guy who you have no information on, who wants to be the president of the United States. For those of you who have heard of me before, and perhaps those of you who are watching now because you have heard that this guy is truly about something different. I'm about change. Ladies and gentlemen, I am about change. I'm running for President of the United States for various reasons, and they are many, from beginning with giving God the glory to making sure that every human being on earth gets satisfied. Now, that covers a big scope, but that's why I'm running for President of the United States. But let me get a little more specific and a bit more into details. We think about the other candidates, and I want you to think about the other candidates while we talk about the things that I am about, so you can see and make a comparison. I don't want you to just know about them when you hear about them, and at this little moment when you hear about me, and you can't associate the two. I want to make sure and guide you and help you through the association. I'm relatively a young man, not too old, but not too young either. I've lived a while, and that's what I'm saying. And I've lived during a time when the other candidates, many of them have been studying law so they can interpret legal matters as they pertain to the citizens of their state and of the nation. Some of them have gone into business and came out of poverty and got wealthy. Some of them have just had business endeavors that have gotten them to a point of success in life, and now they find themselves with the experience and the record to come before you, the American people, and say that they would like to serve you. And there's no doubt in my mind that if any of these guys serve you, that you would get a representation at least comparable to that you've had in the past. Some of them could be a little bit better than others, and some a little bit worse. But nevertheless, it would be nothing that you, the American people, could not sustain or put up with, at least for the next 4 years. But when you come to me, ladies and gentlemen, while they were doing that, I didn't do that. I concentrated on solutions to the problems of my brothers and sisters throughout the world, but specifically here in the United States of America. I'm a social scientist, ladies and gentlemen, and what my basic emphasis is to know why specific social problems within a society exist, why they exist, what brings it on, what keeps it going. And by knowing these things, it enables me to know how to chop it out, how to cut it out, how to end it. And while others have done what they've done, I have done what I have been doing. And ladies and gentlemen, I know what causes the basic problems within our society and within any society. And because I know, I want to prescribe, and I want to prescribe from the position that gives me the authority to make sure that the whole nation knows about the prescription. And I'm giving it to you now in hopes that you will be excited enough about it, that you will allow the people that you know and those that they know that the prescription to end the social degradation of our society is at hand. And we can authorize its usage. That's what this campaign is all about. You see, ladies and gentlemen, here are some facts. As a social scientist, I can tell you this. We, as people, are just like people anywhere else on the globe. Whatever continent they live in, they are people just like us. And we as a people, all of us, ladies and gentlemen, my sisters and brothers, my fellow Americans, all of us want the same thing. And you know what it is? You know what it truly is, ladies and gentlemen? Every human being on earth want to live in peace. In peace. Every human being on earth wants to be prosperous. When I say prosperous, that means means basically that they want to give out, make an effort to do something. And after doing, they want to receive a reward for their doing. What that indicates to us, ladies and gentlemen, is that every individual that lives on this planet, that lives in the United States of America, that lives here in the state of Minnesota, have a yearning to be contributive to our environment, to humanity, to do something, to make our mark. And we want to be rewarded all over the globe, prosperous, living in peace, and being prosperous, doing and receiving. That is the desire of every human being on the face of the earth. Now, that's you, that's me. That's every American. Do we have that today? If you study American history, has that ever existed? No, it has not. Why hasn't it? Well, has it ever been offered before? Do you know of it being offered? How did our society, starting from the beginning of the melting pot, ending up being like other societies of the world? When I say others, it doesn't matter whether people lived under dictatorships. It doesn't matter if people lived under monarchies. It doesn't matter if people lived under communism, socialism, democracies. Every government of the earth fails to meet the needs of its citizens. And why? Because there is a method, ladies and gentlemen, that neither nation has ever tried. And ladies and gentlemen, I tell you this. I run for president of the United States because I offered that method to you. You see, in order for the people in the United States, every last one of you, in order for you to be satisfied, in order for your needs to be met, in order for there to be goods and services available for your needs to be met, in order for there to be the infrastructure for you to apply yourselves to be participating in the creating force that produces the goods and services. In order for these things to happen, there must be a change. And that change, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you might think. I mentioned to you that it has been tried in every nation on the face of the earth, and none has produced what this campaign is offering. That's peace and prosperity for every citizen and in this nation. Now, how can that be done? Some of you are saying, how can that be paid for? How can every citizen in this nation have a job? Who are they going to work for? And what they're going to do? And how they're going to be paid for? And how this insurance is going to be paid? And who's going to be responsible for it? Ladies and gentlemen, when I come to you to speak to you about the things that I'm telling you about, all of that has been considered. The things that have been considered are the old people who families are going through such hard times that they are looking for institutions that, goddamn, will house these old people who have nothing to do because society has left them out. And there are people who are looking for books who will house these old people, but will they give them the tender care that they need, the tender care that they deserve and want? Can they get that? Some do, some don't. But who wants to take the risk, and why should you take the risk? Why should children be exploited in being denied those basic essentials as little children, as toddlers, and as they grow up through their formative years, be denied those things that would allow them to branch out and be wonderful flowers of ours? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as a social scientist, I've searched and I've researched and I've done it again and again and again. And I stand before you today to tell you, in order for these things to happen, and they must happen for every citizen of the United States, because if any citizen is denied it, then the whole of America should be denied it, because that's the way it is intended to be. And what is that way? That way is if everything were free. Now, I just know that knocked you off your feet, but let me explain this to you. When you came upon this earth, you didn't bring anything with you. I want you to understand this. And no matter how long you live, if it's a day or if it's 150 years, When you die, you take nothing away. And any fool would ascertain from that between point A and point B, nothing is yours. Everything that you used while you were here was something that you used. Something that you used. You didn't bring yourself here and you didn't take yourself away, so you don't belong to yourself. So why and how's the idea that you are it? You are the one. You need to have your mind changed. That's what preachers are for. To help you get your mind awake. To recognize that you have been deceived, and the deception is reflected in the failures of our society through crime and violence, through the overloading of prisons, through poverty, through war, through terrorism. All of these are acts of people who are crying out for change, crying out for change. No one wants to put a bomb to themselves and blow themselves up. No one wants to commit a crime and spend time in prison, or take a chance on spending time in prison, or getting shot, committing some act of crime. No one wants to do these things. But they find themselves in a position where the choice has got to be, if you want something, you got to make this move. And they take that chance and they pay the ultimate price. And we as a society are playing our part in it. I come as a social scientist delegating to you the right to exercise your power and eliminate this out by knowing that you have the power to do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been told, I put it to you this way, that in order to keep the economy going, to motivate it, you have to reward the heavy workers, those who work harder. People who work harder perhaps in jobs that they don't even like. But they get into it because the way the system is set up, the markets are set up, there's capital in it, and you can get money back. And everybody goes after money. The central focus is not the people. We use people to have a purpose in doing what we do because we got to market to the people, and we want the people to respond. Here again, what are we talking about? We're talking about money, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your community, whether it's in your state, in your nation, or globally. It's all about that paper. It's not about what it should be about. The original intent, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that will work, and the reason it will work is because the original intent was for people to come to this planet, wherever they may be. They would go through a period of growth that would be physical, mental, and spiritual. And they would develop. And they would learn from their environment. They would learn from those who are here before, who have learned from those who are here before. And in learning, they will see through the unfolding of life around us the beauty in performing according to principles that they have accepted. And when a society is full of crime and violence, that says we've done it wrong. And so we go back until we get it straight. And when we get it straight, we find that everybody who has come, who has and have a talent, a gift, something that can contribute, we will find that when we all can participate, we find that we don't have to work all the time, even at the jobs that we wish we could work all the time at. But it opens up space and gives us additional time to do other things that we love, like stay at home. Because now we have nothing to envy about each other. We both are satisfied. We're living in peace. And we are all prosperous because we are doing what we want to do. We are exercising the talents that we have. And the talents that we have are so needed. And we love giving it. And it works just fine for ourselves, for our family. And it works just fine for everybody else. And when we today walk around looking at our cars that are falling apart as we pass by dealerships, with some of the most beautiful cars there, just loaded down with cars with keys in it, and we walking wishing we could have a car. That doesn't... Ladies and gentlemen, are hoping that
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I was just showing some extracts from days past, indicative of the roads that I've traveled, to see that what I said then is the same thing that I say now. Because if it was true yesterday, then it is true today. And I stand on those basic principles, and I just really wanted to share with you efforts that were being made back there, perhaps before you even ever heard of an Eddie Marcus. So I have to stop that there because, well, you see what the problem is. However, I want again say thank you so very much. And this is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, saying bye bye.